You are watching the Platinum Northwest TV news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look now at the leading top stories. First up, President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed the nation last night ahead of the 2024 elections, and the Kanana Council of Churches pray for peaceful elections. In the business news, the Rand weakens ahead of this week's elections, and in the sports news, the West Indies thumped the Proteas to win the series 3-0. We begin here with just a day left before South Africans go to the polls. Several political parties wrapped up their election campaigns over the weekend. These elections are expected to be the mostly contested polls since the dawn of democracy 30 years ago. Here is the President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking.
We are able to satisfy ourselves that our elections conform not only to our own laws, but also to internationally accepted standards of freeness and fairness. We thank all the party agents and the election observers for the work they are doing and reiterate that they must be allowed to do their work without any form of hindrance, intimidation, or threats. As in previous elections, our law enforcement agencies and security services have made extensive preparations to ensure that these elections are peaceful and that all South Africans can freely exercise their right to vote. They have been deployed throughout the country to ensure that there are no disturbances or disruptions to the election process. We thank them for their professionalism, their dedication, and their vigilance. Over the course of the last few months, many different parties and candidates have vigorously and enthusiastically campaigned for votes. While the contestation has been robust and at times became heated, campaigning has been peaceful and free of intimidation. We commend all parties that have upheld the electoral code of conduct and that have ensured that their supporters adhere to the democratic principles that have long characterized our elections. We should all be concerned at reports that came out today about the obstruction of election activities, including unlawful entry at IEC storage sites in KwaZulu-Natal. We once again call upon all parties, all candidates, supporters, and every South African to refrain from any action that could interfere with the due process of the electoral process. Regardless of the outcome, let this election further entrench our democracy and strengthen our commitment to uphold this precious democracy. My fellow South Africans, this election brings to a close the 6th administration of our democracy. When this administration took office in 2019, our country stood at a turning point. We had endured a decade of corruption and state capture, of weak economic growth, and the erosion of our public institutions. Today, we have put that era behind us. We've placed South Africa on a new trajectory of recovery and laid a strong foundation for future growth.
Meanwhile, with the special voting that have started taking place today and will continue on Tuesday, the IEC said that it is ready to welcome voters who have qualified for special votes in the 2024 national and provincial elections. In other news, various churches, organizations and political parties gathered at the Kanana shopping center yesterday for a prayer session for the upcoming elections. With only a day left, the Kanana community are hoping that these elections will be peaceful and will bring fruitful results as they are facing many social challenges, which one of them is gangsterism. Here is what they had to say.
Kintate Muruti Kepei, Kinna Chepesene, Ya Kanana Council of Churches. Kajokulena Nertsore Tapelo Mukanana, Ntoya Pili Enere Rapella, Rele Kanana Council of Churches, Liba Aiba Kanana, in the Elidi Hetu. Ni rapela di khetho na hore di tsamaya hantle ka bolukului batho ba be le mamello ba sa bolayana ba sa tswela matla ka baka la mekgatlo ya bobedi re ne re rapela dipolayano dithunya tse leng teng mo Kanana re batla ho be le khotso Kanana e be le khotso ka matsitsi kaofela ke ntho ya bobedi ene re rapela ya boraro ne re rapela hlekefetso le dithithibatsi hobaneng batho ba ya hlekefetso ha batho ba qeta ho tsuba dithiba tsa bona ba hlekefetsa batho jwale ke ntho ne re rapella eo mo Kanana ya rona khutso yane e ne le teng kgale e be teng hape dintho kaofela di tsamaya hantle jwale ka jekolene ne re le kopane re le baahi ba Kanana mo Kanana complex thapelo ya rona e lokisitswe ke Kanana Council of Churches hore re tlo rapela ka jeko re rapetse le member ya parliament e le teng a re tsheditse mo thapelo re baruti kaofela ba dikereke tsa Kanana bana ba le teng re tlo rapela jwale re a leboha ka thapelo re entseng baahi kaofela ba kgonne ho fihla re a leboha ka mantswe makalo ke a leboha thank you
re ke dumedise batswadi ya bua mona ke Apostle Tumelo David Mofokeng o tswa lefatsheng la Kanana ke emele executive ya Kanana Council of Churches tsatsing la kajeno mo re bileng le letsatsi le loreng re organizitse thapelo tsatsing la kajeno thapelo ena ke thapelo ya lefatshe towards the elections ra tseba di electioneng tsa rona dintho di ngata di a hlaha dintho di ngata tse etsahala empa re bone ho le bohlokwa hore re meme modimo a tlo ba part and parcel le rona mo thapelong ya tsatsi la kajeno haholo re rapedisa botlokotsebe bo etsahalang ka go lefatshe la Kanana dintho di a etsahala tse ngata lefatshe la Kanana jwale ha re bala Bible e re ha setjhaba sa ka se ipitsang ka lebitso la ka ha se ka rapela mme sa nkutlwa nna ke le modimo ke tla theoha ke se utlwe jwale ke mo re bileng le mission o re kopane re le kaofela re rapelle tsatsi la kajeno jwale re tshepa gore ntate modimo o utlwe dithapelo tsa rona re le kaofela re le mona ke dikereke tse fapafapaneng tse kopaneng mona pholoso tsena kaofela gore re bitse lebitso la ntate modimo le be le rona tsatsing la kajeno jwale de diswa re bone ho le bohlokwa re kopane tsatsing la kajeno ke le buile haholo.
Now, various pastors from different churches also had this to say. Let's take a look.
Dumelang, Northwest Platinum viewers. Libito la ka ke nna Bishop Mbulelo Ndakane wa Amazing Grace Bible Center mo Kanana. Mokgatlo wa rona wa fraternal ke Kanana for Jesus campaign. So last weekend re organize prayer ya the elections where we are praying for the elections 2029. We all know, you know, South Africa has been in democracy for the past 30 years. And then these elections, they are so much difficult, especially for the IEC. So we really needed to pray for these elections, especially on the IEC. You know, this year it has been in and out the courts and everything, and it was quite challenging for them. So they really needed our prayers. So we called the church, the Kerkes Kaufela, Samo Kanana, and then we stood in one agreement, in one accord, and rappel the election senate Samo South Africa. And then this thing, South Africa, where we stand, you know, for our country, for our leaders. Like Bible age or 2 Corinthians 7:14 area, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, and I as God will hear from heaven, and then I will heal their land. So therefore, the solutions are our country are not in the hands of the politicians. The solutions are our country are in the hands of the children of God, where if they can call, God will hear from heaven and He will hear our land. So even today we are here, the prayers, the organization, Kanana Council of Churches, we are just continuing just towards the elections, to continue with that momentum of the elections. And we really believe Mutimu, you know, has really heard our prayers. We thank you. Thank you
the
so
acting
much.
mayor of Matlosana, Fikile Mahlophe, was also part of this prayer and thanked the Council of Churches for this initiative.
Kalibitso ke Fikile Mahlophe ke acting executive mayor of the city of Matlosana. Re kopane kasheko mo Kanana, re kopantshitswe ke Kanana Council of Churches led by Apostle Mofokeng. Re batla ho nka nako e re lebohe the same Kanana Council of Churches hore ba re biditse mo re le batho ba puso re le dikereke tse fapafapaneng ho tla o rapella hore re be le di-election tse di-peaceful. Di-election tse di-peaceful di bohlokwa hobane ra tseba hore mahlo ohle a tla lebile South Africa ho na le ba ba reng di ka se be di-election tse di-free and fair. Empa re le government re utlwile molaetsa wa president hore di-election tse tlo ba di-election tse di-free and fair. Re leboha ba dikereke hore ba batlile ba tlo di rapedisa. Empa se ke ratang ho se leboha haholo ke hore ha ba rapedise di-election fela, ba rapedisa le substance abuse, ba rapedisa le dintwa tse di leng teng mo Kanana, dintwa tse re di bonang. Re a tseba hore mo Kanana mo weekend le weekend ra utlwa hore hona le motho ya beileng hlooho ya hlokafetseng ka lebaka la dintwa tse di leng teng. Rata ho leboha Kanana Council of Churches hore ba batlile mona ba rapedisa ntho tse kang tse hore a modimo a theole moya wa hae ho be le kagiso mona ka Kanana, dikgetho di be ebe kgetho tse banang le kagiso. Ntho e kgolo ha se dikgetho fela, le after elections ho be le kagiso, batho ba rona ba tloele hore ka nako tse kaofela re utlwe hore motho o shwele hore o hlokafetse ka baka tsa ntwa tse di etsahalang mo Kanana le dithethefatsi. Ke a leboha.
In more news, law enforcement agencies are in charge and in control as the country heads to the polls this weekend, or rather this week. This is according to Police Deputy National Commissioner Lieutenant General Tibelo Musikidi. Now, Musikidi said this when she addressed the media on the readiness of the National Joint Operations and Intelligence Structure, NAJOINS, ahead of the national as well as the provincial elections to be held on Wednesday. Here's more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the second phase of our 2024 NPE operational plan. A sensitive and critical stage of our operations which requires us to heighten police visibility and ensure more boots are on the ground in all corners of the country. We therefore take this opportunity to caution responsible citizens, especially social media users, from spreading misinformation and fake news. You are all urged to verify facts first before sharing with any information which often leads to unnecessary confusion and panic. We will not tolerate any incitement of violence on any platform. Our intelligence communities and cybercrime units are closely monitoring online users. We are warned not to step out of the line. The task at hand is one that is immense, but through past experiences of ensuring a safe and secure past elections, we are confident that we are ready for this next phase. Indeed, the road to a safe, secure, and peaceful election requires the commitment and effort from all stakeholders, including our communities. We are grateful that thus far our communities and South Africans from all walks of life have continued to display responsible conduct and behavior. A reminder to all political parties that political campaigning ends midnight on the 28th of May 2024. Should this continue beyond this period, this would be a transgression and contravention of the Electoral Act. With this being said, it is more boots on the ground. Our law enforcement agencies are out there deployed to ensure everyone that will be exercising their democratic right does so in a peaceful, safe, and secure environment. We once more want to remind our law enforcement agencies to continue to apply fundamental policing principles guided by the Constitution and our laws. You are also reminded that the Department of Home Affairs will open until 1900 hours on Monday and Tuesday and 2100 hours on Wednesday to assist those who want to apply for temporary IDs or collect their identity documents. To all voters, go out there having full confidence that the North Joint Plan is on track to protect your rights and our democracy. We are in charge. We are in control. As law enforcement agencies, we will ensure your safety through this period. And I thank you.
Moving on to the story now, Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance, Kanana, visited Kanana location in Orkney as part of the party campaign. He said that there are major factors responsible for the decline in economic growth in South Africa. He said that corruption has been a major economic setback in South Africa, and it is often regarded as the evil that negatively affected the developmental strides in public administration as well as in the political system. As he continued, he raised the issue of water and sanitation that the residents of Kanana are facing. He also blames the ruling party by not maintaining the infrastructure and not developing or coming with solutions to solve this plague. Meanwhile, the leader of the PA in Kanana, Itumeleng Gigaba, said that he's very concerned about the experience of high gang activities in the neighborhood. He says that there are a lot of illicit firearm and gang-related activities in the area.
Libitso laka ke Kanana, ke Deputy President ya Patriotic Alliance, the fastest growing political party in South Africa. Na ke tlile Kanana mo Northwest tsatsing lena as part of my national campaign mo eleng hore ke campaigner le mo president wa Patriotic Alliance Elongated Mackenzie eleng hore o ema tsheka mo president wa naha mme he ke tla le hore ke tlo campaigner le premier ya Northwest ya emetseng Patriotic Alliance eleng Mmelo Rato Mathopa. Ne ke tlile ho tlo bua le batho ba Kanana ka mathata au ba shebaneng le ona ibile le mathata au re shebaneng le ona re le maAfrika Borwa hobane mathata a rona ka ro Afrika Borwa ke diqeto tsa mmuso wa ANC. Mathata a rona kaofela ke diqeto tsa mmuso wa ANC. Mme ke thabile haholo baneng setjhaba se tlile re buile ene ba utlwisisa mme ona re ho nna a moholo mona re o re butsi mahlo mme ke batla molaetsa ono o fitlhelle hole le haufinyana metsele metsaneng. Ya bobedi eo ke buileng ka yona ke taba ya corruption. Mokgatlo ona wa ANC, mmuso wa ANC o entse corruption e ka reng a se crime. Baetapele ba bewang ka ru ditulo tsa mmuso ke ANC ba tshwarwa ka bobodu ka corruption ka nako tsohle, but they are never tried in the courts of law. We are always given excuses. So the ANC government has rendered our country into a state of oblivion. There is nothing that works.
My name is Itumeleng Gigaba. I'm a leader of the Patriotic Alliance in Kanana, and I'm also a community activist who has been very vocal in terms of the social ills that are affecting our own people. And one of those that are giving us sleepless nights are the questions of gangsterism, are the issues that relates to criminal activities where there are plenty of gun shootings that are happening within our area. They have brought fear amongst our own communities. Now, as the PA in Kanana, we are calling for a local dialogue on how to address the current persisting gun shootings in our own township, because we feel very strong that it's not only those who are fighting amongst themselves who becomes affected, but we feel very strong that even communities are also subjected to these brutal killings. Now we are also calling upon the residents of Kanana to stand up on their own and make sure that the issue of poor service delivery is addressed within our own municipality. The issue of poor roads, the issue of unemployment, the issue of nepotism, in as far as municipal posts are concerned, we are saying as the PA, we are not going to sleep until justice has been done.
And on to the story now. On Friday, the Elections.Dstv Hospital, in collaboration with the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital, performed the first ever Northwest Province open heart surgery. The 39-year-old patient, who is currently recovering in ICU, initially refused the surgery when it was suggested in 2006. Now, 18 years later, herself and her family are proud that she was selected to be part of such a historic event. A medical team from the Charlotte Maxeke was selected to support the Elections.Dstv medical team in carrying out the 6-hour-long successful surgery. An online meeting was attended by medical executives of both the Gauteng as well as the Northwest Health Departments, where MEC for Health in the Northwest Province, Madoda Sambata, shared that this successful surgery will increase the faith of the Northwest people in their own healthcare systems. He also shared that it only proves the capability of the province to carry out such high-risk operations. HOD of the Gauteng Department of Health, Arnold Malotana, speaking on behalf of the province's MEC, shared that the help of the newly renovated cardiothoracic theatre in Tshepong and the dedicated Northwest medical team, another life could be saved. And with that said, let's now take a look at the business news. In the business news, the rand has weakened slightly against the US dollar amid the rising expectations that the outcome of this week's elections could affect markets. Economist Davi Ruet says that the rand appears to be unraveled and that there was a possibility that the election outcome could be well less favorable for the economy and the financial markets. And that's all from the business news. Up next, we wrap up with the sports. In cricket news, South Africa slumped to a 3-0 series defeat away to the West Indies. Already down 2-0 in the series, Sunday's clash in Kingston was about pride for the Proteas. However, after posting 163 on a slow pitch, the hosts chased it down to win by 8 wickets to put an exclamation point on the series win. The Proteas were under pressure very early on, sitting at 50 for 4 in the 8th over. Captain Rassie van der Dussen and Vian Mulder counterpunched, putting together a vital 77 runs of 49 balls before Mulder was scored out. Van der Dussen tried to bat with the tail as they limped along, reaching 163 for 7. West Indies opener Brandon King and John Charles came out swinging. Charles reached his 50 in just 20 balls. They accrued 92 runs in just 6.4 overs before Charles hauled out a deep mid-wicket for a match-winning 69 of just 26. Carl Mayers made sure the hosts sprinted across the finish line, posting a quick-fire 36 that included 4 sixes. Mayer ended 36 not out as the West Indies ensured that they head into the T20, which they will co-host with the United States in a confident mood. Now, it was a special moment for Peter Ngaba, the 21-year-old who made his debut during this series and was presented with his Proteas cap. Let's take a look.
Obviously, we've got a new debutant today for the Proteas. Dubs, I think everybody has heard your story. I think it's quite special. About a year ago, you were our net bowlers. You cleaned up everyone. A year later, now you actually playing with us and for the country. I think it's one hell of a story, not one that happens too often. But yeah, wear this with pride and enjoy.
All the best, boy!
Moving on to soccer news, Mamelodi Sundowns won their 7th consecutive DStv Premiership title and also making it 14th league title in the Premier Soccer League. And revealed in their title celebration, team chairperson Tlhophe Motsepe was pitchside to celebrate their title-winning season and had this to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here on the field. It's the day of the trophy handover right here on the Pitchside Podcast. Chairman, this one is for you. It's the big one. It's the main one.
Gentlemen, can I, in the spirit of Pitchside, I know you guys always start and then Sugar comes and he says something. Can we allow Sugar to do his intro?
His intro first.
No, we need you to do the intro.
No,
so here we go.
We're doing things differently today.
Yeah,
we want you to do an intro.
You do the intro.
Okay, let me grab some Red Bull.
All right. All right.
Just to get the energy right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Got it.
I'm going to steal your line now.
All right, let's go.
Because I'm a fan of the show. I watch the show, guys.
Okay. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Pitchside
Podcast. Chairman, how are you feeling? We've got another one, number 7, number 14 overall in the PSL era. How are you feeling right now?
I'm overwhelmed, guys.
Yeah.
To be very honest, you have the history of all the players and the coaches and the people that have been part of us from trophy number 1 to trophy number 14.
Yeah.
And those people who have been part of this club, you feel honored and privileged to be part of this history that's been written.
Yeah.
So you don't get to number 14 without number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
Deco's title, Sugar's title.
Yeah.
So really, 14 is it's an honor, and it represents all the people that have gotten to where we are now.
And also, I just want to ask, Chairman, with all the acquisitions that the team has made this season, now with the progress and also with the trophy that we've won, where do you think the team is going to be come next season, especially with everybody that has been signed?
Well, to credit to those signings, I think it's important to give a lot of recognition to the coach, to Fleming Berg, our sporting director. He's been amazing since he's arrived. He's brought talents like Marcelo Allende, he's spotted Lucas Ribeiro. So, and that's just in the first team. I mean, he saw Mabena, brought him in as well. Yeah. He's also given him that opportunity to be where he is. So really the team is in a position now where we can see that there's the ability to take it to the next level, right? There's the ability, there's the talent there. Deco, you always say this. You always say that this team now has what it takes because your team in your generation was more grit.
Of course,
And this team is more talent and finesse.
Yeah.
So I do think that look, we know that we didn't achieve the title of Invincibles today.
Yeah.
So that setback, and setbacks are all part of moving forward in life, right? I truly believe that what happened in Champions League, being knocked out of the semi-finals, being knocked out of the MTN, and we're winning today, but maybe not going all the way in terms of invincibility. Invincibility. English. Guys, it even gets me on the show. It gets me on the show as well. Okay, but I think even in that case, it gives us those moments of pain that we can use to push forward and get hard. So where we are now, we're well positioned to really do some special things.
What is your highlight of the season? What do you take away from this season looking at the new one? It's going to be another busy year. Club World Cup, AFL, Champions League, and so much more to play for.
Definitely. I think the highlight was winning the AFL.
Definitely.
Because selfishly it was a moment where our club president was watching them play.
Yes.
The club president doesn't often watch the team play. So in that moment when we could win something in front of him, and I know how much the players, play and want to represent and make him proud. So that moment was really special. That was my highlight.
Amazing. And I think also for me it's the fans. What's your message to the fans?
Yes. No, I think definitely 14th title. is always dedicated to those before us, those with us, and those who have helped us achieve what we wanted to achieve. 7 in a row, you know. Seven. It goes to the Yellow Nation. It goes to the supporters, the 12th man. Thank them. Thank you very much for everything that you've done this season. And this title is for them. 7 in a row. Every title that we win, I think we must dedicate to the people that are with us when we're on the high and when we're on the low. We won the league again. We didn't get the title of Invincibles, but look at them.
It's a celebration.
Look at them.
It's a celebration.
Look at you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please continue to do well for us. Represent. We'll keep representing and keep taking it. It is the Pitchside Podcast. We're coming to you live from the field. It's a different one. There he goes with his Red Bull.
Meanwhile, Orlando Pirates striker Tsegofatso Mabasa ended the season with a Golden Boot award after netting his 16th league goal of the season against SuperSport United. Now, Pirates qualified for the CAF Champions League after finishing second in the DStv Premiership. Stellenbosch FC also qualified for the CAF Confederations Cup after finishing the season in third place. And that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. The team will be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.